This is legitimately silly.
Diablo is a series that has been around for nearly 26 years now. While most people know the game series for Diablo 2 and 3, I recently picked up and played the OG, Diablo 1. It was on sale for $8 on GOG, which is roughly the same price as a fan-favorite combo from the restaurant Captain D's. Considering that the price point is equivalent to a meal of greasy fried fish, I think this game is worth playing in 2023. Not only is it fun, but there's also a lower chance of having diarrhea later in the day after playing Diablo. I played through the game and I'm going to tell you about it now. Of course, I played single player, but you can play co-op. I wasn't able to play co-op because my friends stink and they hate me. You'll be spending your time in Diablo as a hero who jankily hobbles around two places primarily. The town of Tristram, which is called a town but is more like 8 houses kind of crammed in next to each other in a field somewhere. And the Labyrinth, which looks like a church but is actually just a very cleverly disguised labyrinth. Apparently the church was used as a church for quite some time before they discovered the giant labyrinth underneath. I guess they just thought it had a very big basement for a long time. You'd think that the scary red lights coming through the church windows and the terrifying shadows that they cast onto the ground would give people some idea that there was something going on with this church, but I guess hindsight is 20/20. The gameplay loop in Diablo is as such. You go about the town, talking to people with funny accents that don't match anyone else there to learn information.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Well, what can I do for you?
Trade, and heal. Then, you dive into the labyrinth to fight enemies and get as deep as you can. There are objectives, of course. The first one is that you kill the Butcher, a big fat scary demon with a deep voice and a loincloth that killed a whole lot of the townspeople.
Your funny bones, I will make you be dead. Silly bones. Ah! The boss is in there. I knew he was going to be in there and I still opened the door. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I have 1 health potion. Trial. Oh, he does a lot of damage. He is not letting me hit! I gotta run. Oh my god. My soul! No! I didn't save for so long. He is running after my... He's got ass cheeks.
You defeat him by clicking on him incessantly, and by clicking you whack him, and this is going to be what you do a lot throughout the game, is you whack people. This is how you fight most of the enemies in Diablo, at least in my case. I picked the warrior, and while early on I did try to stat him up with some magic, it was about as effective as a wet fart is at impressing a first date. The magic is probably more effective with the other classes, but I didn't pick another class. I picked this man right here. But I didn't pick another class. I picked this man right here, and I named him Dio. So you click and you miss, and you click and you hit and kill enemies to get gold, to buy equipment, or you get equipment in the dungeons. It's a simple but fun loop. You get gold and equipment, you go up top, you sell things, you heal, you buy more equipment, you go back down into the dungeon, and you click more things. It's nice to have a little base to return to in Tristram. Of course it doesn't change much over the course of the game like some modern games do, but still, I love this shit. You just go down into this one central location that does expand, and then you come back to your little hometown and it's all comfy. When a lot of people talk about Diablo 1, a lot of what you'll hear is that the game has a lot of atmosphere. What is atmosphere? In a game, atmosphere is the sense that it can bring to you, the way it kind of brings you in with the world and immersion and stuff like that. Diablo 1 is very atmospheric, especially if you consider that the game came out in 1997. You do have to keep that in perspective. So yes, your character looks like this, and he walks like this, and some enemies look like this, and sound like this. And sometimes your character says things like this.
Too much baggage.
Ugh, too much baggage.
But there is a certain atmosphere to the game that makes it creepy and even a little scary. The way that things look creepy, the way that things are read, the music that plays in the background. Like the lights I mentioned earlier that are cast out of the church, or the fact that you walk around this desolate town with this wicked-ass song playing in the background. The town song is called Tristram, you know, the song is named after the town, and it fucking slaps. I recommend you listen to it even if you don't play the game. It's probably one of the best video game songs ever made. I am stating that now. I will never take that back. The atmosphere also extends to the dungeons as well. Yes, sometimes like the levels look kind of samey, but there's like this good creepy music playing in the background, and like sound effects kind of echoing throughout. And again, keeping in perspective that this game came out in 1997, I imagine this was kind of mind-blowing to a lot of players for the first time, like going around in this dungeon and then coming back up to Tristram and hearing this song. It gives you this sense of like dread, but also like this driving wonder. I played the regular version of Diablo without the Hellfire expansion. I don't know why I did. I just clicked it and went, and I didn't think very much after that point. I just clicked play the original, and that was it. The plot of Diablo is actually incredibly simple. You came here to save the king's son, the prince, who was kidnapped by an evil priest, who ran down into the dungeons to hang out with a bunch of hot succubus women.
Whoa, look at that ass. The wrath of my master. You are too late.
After getting a bunch of the townspeople killed for no reason. The evil priest is voiced by Ben 10's grandpa.
Join him in hell.
But so are a few of the other characters in the game. Like I said earlier, there are side quests in the game, but they're also really simple. Usually Ben 10's grandpa, or a tome, tells you something, or a goat man, or a crazy wizard, and then you go to a room full of skeletons, and they line up so you kill them one by one for about 10 minutes, and it's awesome. Or, you just talk to someone, and then you leave the room, and you come back, and then they have more dialogue for you. It was a very simple system. Later in the game, there are some areas that are frustrating. Enemies that are so plentiful that they shoot enemies that are so plentiful that they'll gather around you and destroy you like a bunch of boomers at an old country buffet. Or enemies that are so plentiful that shoot projectiles at you that they just decimate you, and all you see is a screen full of flashing projectiles flying at you, and then you're dead. I had particular trouble on floor 10, just getting my titties slapped over and over, and also the final level with a bunch of bastard wizards that shot so many fireballs that I swear to God I was in some kind of kiln. It almost becomes silly to have so many fucking fireballs on screen at once, and you're just clicking around, your character's trying to avoid them, and he's scrambling like he has Dookie running down his leg, and he probably does, because if you had that many fireballs on screen flying around you, you would probably be shitting yourself. Then you fight the final boss, the titular Diablo, and the game just kind of ends. That's it. The end. I was shocked by that. It just kind of ends. No New Game Plus or anything like that, but oh well. And the fight with Diablo is not as, like, epic as you would think it is either. Diablo comes out with his fat-cheeked ass, and you just kind of beat on him, and then you win. And then the ending happens. I enjoyed my time with Diablo. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun. Simple, clicking, fun. You just kind of go around, you go in the dungeon, you fight, you get loot, you come back, you sell, you get more loot, you heal, you go back. It's a fun little loop. It has enough story to pull you along. The atmosphere is good. It's a good game. I love the simple design of the game. I love the design of it, the music, the weird way that everyone seems to have a different accent. It's incredibly 90s. I do enjoy the design of Diablo himself. He's got so many spikes on him. It's just also very 90s. It reminds me of some of those like Rob Liefeld comics. Also, this is probably one of my favorite death animations in a game ever. Also, the death sound. It's just so satisfying and reminds me of the Helix games. Watch this. See? That's great. 10 out of 10, play Diablo.